weekday.
We'll keep you feeling good with the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today.
On 97.1 Wash FM.
Tonight, breaking news, President Trump, the Mueller investigation, and what we've just learned about his legal team. The new move tonight. Also breaking at this hour, reports of 2 deputies shot and killed in an apparent ambush. What we're learning right now. Just in tonight, what we never knew about the death of Prince, the new images just released from inside his home. What investigators discovered and what they're now saying about the drugs the singer had been given. Tonight, new images seconds after that explosion in midair, and how safe are hundreds of 737s flying right now. Did Southwest do enough to inspect planes after a similar incident? Tonight, Southwest and their new statement just issued. The fraternity suspended tonight after this video was made public. Frat students at Syracuse University accused of saying, "I solemnly swear to always have hatred in my heart," posting racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic videos. The storm moving across the country, treacherous driving, and now the new system tonight. And late today, word of the prisoner to be set free after more than 2 decades on death row.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Thursday night. Several developing stories, and first here, the president bringing on a new member to join his personal legal team. Former New York City mayor and former U.S. Attorney Rudy Giuliani will now help the president deal with the special counsel's investigation into Russia and any possible obstruction of justice or collusion. The president's previous lead lawyer resigning weeks ago. And tonight here, what Giuliani says he is now hoping for. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl leading us off.
With 2 investigations heating up, President Trump is bringing in a big gun, adding Rudy Giuliani to his legal team. Giuliani isn't just the former mayor of New York, he is also the former U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, the very U.S. Attorney's Office that ordered the FBI raid on the president's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen. Giuliani is also a political bulldog.
I am sick and tired of the defamation of Donald Trump by the media and by the Clinton campaign. I am sick and tired of it. This is a good man.
The Giuliani hire comes as the president has turned up the heat on special counsel Robert Mueller, escalating his attacks on an investigation he calls a witch hunt. But today, Giuliani told the Washington Post he has high regard for Mueller, saying, "I hope we can negotiate an end to this for the good of the country." As for what he'll tell the president, Giuliani says, "My advice on Mueller has been this: he should be allowed to do his job. He's entitled to do his job."
So let's get right to John Karl with us live tonight from West Palm Beach. And John, President Trump has been searching for a new lawyer. You've been reporting that for some time. The big question, of course, tonight is Rudy Giuliani really someone the president will listen to now? Will he take his advice?
Well, that is the big question. He certainly hasn't always taken his legal team's advice, especially when it comes to talking or tweeting about Robert Mueller. But Giuliani is somebody who is higher profile and somebody who has known Trump for a long, long time. As the president himself said in a statement tonight, Rudy is great. He has been my friend for a long time, and he wants to get this matter quickly resolved for the good of the country. David?
John Karl leading us off tonight. John, thank you. We turn now to that developing headline from Florida. 2 deputies shot and killed in the line of duty. It appears to have been an ambush. ABC's Victor Oquendo from Florida tonight for us. Victor.
David, the Gilchrist County Sheriff's Office calling it a terrible tragedy. We've just received some new information. Let's take you to the scene in northern Florida. This is downtown Trenton, outside of Gainesville. The Gilchrist County Sheriff's Office says their 2 deputies were shot and killed while inside of a restaurant after a suspect walked up and shot them both through a window. The shooter was found dead when other deputies arrived. Attorney General Pam Bondi saying, "My heart breaks with the tragic news of 2 Gilchrist County deputies that were senselessly killed today while in the line of duty." David, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is now responding to this. Governor Rick Scott says that he has been briefed and is offering any support they might need. David?
Victor Oquendo tonight. Victor, thank you. We are also following never-before-seen images tonight just released in the Prince investigation from inside his home, his estate, right after the music legend was found dead. What investigators are now revealing about the medication Prince took, and this question tonight, did he know what else he was taking? Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim with the video.
Tonight, never-before-seen images inside Paisley Park moments after police discover mega music star Prince dead in his home by an elevator, a meal and sunglasses on a kitchen table, a bag and coat placed on a chair. This as Minnesota investigators reveal the star may have unknowingly taken counterfeit medication laced with deadly amounts of fentanyl.
In all likelihood, Prince had no idea he was taking a counterfeit pill that could kill him.
But after an extensive 2-year investigation, authorities declining to file criminal charges, saying they don't know how he got those drugs.
There is no doubt that the actions of individuals around Prince will be criticized, questioned, and judged in the days and weeks to come. But suspicions and innuendo are categorically insufficient to support any criminal charges.
In April 2016, the singer was found dead in his home.
We needed paramedical at Paisley Park, 7801 Audubon Road. Person down, not breathing.
Pills scattered all over his Paisley Park estate. Police finding a bag with the words opium inside his music vault. Some prescribed by Minnesota doctor Michael Schellenberg, who admitted to investigators he prescribed Prince Percocet in his friend and bodyguard's name to protect the musician's privacy. But authorities say it was counterfeit Vicodin that killed the star. Dead. While authorities say they think someone close to the superstar knows how he got the bad meds, a lack of solid evidence is now leading them to close this case.
And Eva Pilgrim is with us here tonight. You've been on this case from the start, and authorities have been telling you that there were a lot of obstacles in this investigation.
One of the major problems they had in this case is the fact that Prince didn't even have a cell phone. He didn't use a cell phone. So all the communications about these drugs were person to person, not in text. So it made it very hard to pinpoint who knew about these pills and who was involved in getting them, David.
I know you and the team will be pouring through that video tonight. Eva Pilgrim with us. Eva, thank you. We turn next year this evening to new questions after the deadly engine explosion on Southwest Flight 1380. There is an intense focus, of course, on that engine and what the airline did after a similar incident 2 years ago. Also tonight, new video from moments after that explosion. And here again, ABC's Lindsay Janis.
Tonight, new video showing the moments of panic on board Southwest Flight 1380. That passenger wearing her oxygen mask recording as a flight attendant calls for calm.
Everybody breathe, we are almost there.
Investigators now poring over the flight's mangled left engine. The FAA is saying they will order more inspections of heavily used 737s. But the action comes a year after the engine's manufacturer recommended more frequent ultrasonic inspections of some fan blades after a similar incident in 2016, also on Southwest. At the time, Southwest and several other airlines opposed the time frame for the recommendation, asking for more time to complete inspections.
Washington and bureaucracies are horribly slow. They're not incentivized to move quickly. And when they have to work with the airlines have a say in what kind of directives they issue. So the whole process can take a long time.
The FAA says 220 engines should be examined for signs of fatigue, but that number could be much higher. And for the first time, we're hearing from firefighter Andrew Needham, who along with others tried to save passenger Jennifer Reardon. Tonight we learned she was wearing her seatbelt, but was fatally injured after being partially sucked out of the plane.
I felt the calling to get up and do something, stand up and act. I'm no different than any other firefighter in this country.
Captain Tammy Jo Schultz, a former Navy pilot, and her crew also speaking out, saying, "We were simply doing our jobs, and our hearts are heavy."
And Lindsay Janis with us live tonight. And Lindsay, Southwest just issuing a statement defending themselves tonight.
That's right, David. Southwest said that while it objected to the timeline of those proposed recommended inspections, it did implement its own inspection process. And then when this week's fatality happened, they have accelerated those inspections. David?
Lindsay Janis with us. Lindsay, thank you. To the developing headline from Washington at this hour, former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe facing possible legal jeopardy tonight. The Justice Department's Inspector General, who wrote that report that led to his being fired, we have learned has now referred the case to a federal prosecutor. Now, that prosecutor will now decide if McCabe will face criminal charges. And here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
The former second in command at the FBI now facing a possible criminal investigation by the very agents he once led. ABC News learning that the Justice Department's Inspector General has referred the case of former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe to the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. for possible criminal prosecution. McCabe first came to national attention after President Trump fired his boss, James Comey, and McCabe vowed to go forward with the Russia probe.
Sir, we consider it to be a highly significant investigation. The FBI will continue to pursue this investigation vigorously.
He was then fired himself just 2 days before retirement amid allegations he misled investigators looking into his role in authorizing a leak to the media about an investigation into the Clinton Foundation. A damning report by the Justice Department Inspector General concluding he lacked candor when talking to investigators and when talking to Comey himself. Today, Comey saying he could even potentially be a witness against McCabe, offering his former deputy little support.
They're conflicted. I like him very much as a person, but sometimes even good people do things they shouldn't do.
But McCabe's attorneys tell ABC News they dispute the allegations and that McCabe should not be the subject of a criminal investigation.
And Pierre Thomas back with us tonight on this. And Pierre, James Comey out on that book tour. We saw him just there weighing in on McCabe. But Comey himself, he's been taking heat over his decision to speak out during the campaign about Hillary Clinton's emails just 11 days before the election while remaining silent about the probe into Russia and the Trump campaign.
That's right, David, but Comey says the Clinton investigation was already public and that the Trump probe had just begun. He said it was way too early to say anything, David.
Pierre Thomas with us live tonight. Pierre, thank you. Overseas tonight into Syria after that chemical attack tonight, the State Department now says that the U.S. has, quote, credible information and intelligence that Russian and Syrian regime officials are keeping international inspectors away while they sanitize the site and remove incriminating evidence. Nearly 2 weeks after the chemical attack, those inspectors have still not been able to reach Douma. Next tonight, we are hearing from the two men back here at home arrested at a Philadelphia Starbucks after the manager called the police just minutes after they arrived in the store. For the first time, they described to Robin Roberts their surprise at being told to leave and then put in handcuffs. And it comes tonight as the Philadelphia Police Commissioner is now apologizing for what he said. He now says it actually made things worse. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
Keep on walking. For the first time today, the two men whose arrests at this Philadelphia Starbucks sparked protest and outrage, they broke their silence.
It didn't really hit me what was going on, that it was real, until I'm being double locked and my hands behind my back.
Dante Robinson and Rashawn Nelson had just arrived for a business meeting when Rashawn asked to use the bathroom. He says the manager told him no unless he made a purchase. They say just 2 minutes later, that manager called 911.
I have two gentlemen at my cafe that are refusing to make a purchase or leave.
Police arrived on the scene.
It was just, get out, you have to leave. He wasn't read any rights, nothing. Just double lock, handcuffs behind our back, and escorted out and put into a squad car.
The Philadelphia Police Commissioner, who initially said his officers didn't do anything wrong, is now apologizing.
My apologies to both them, the police officers, and everybody else in this city because I exacerbated the situation with my messaging. Real simple.
As for that arresting officer,
he has been absolutely mortified.
Both men say this goes far beyond what happened in that coffee shop.
It's not just a black people thing. This is a people thing. And that's exactly what we want to see out of this, and that's true change.
And Lindsay Davis with us tonight. And Lindsay, what's the next step for these young men?
Well, both men say that while they appreciate the public support, they say what they really want, as you just heard them say, they want real change, perhaps policy change. They're working with Starbucks to that end. David.
Lindsay, thank you. From Cuba tonight, an historic change, a glimpse of the future without a Castro at the helm. Today, Raul Castro turned the presidency over to the first vice president, Miguel Mario Diaz-Canel Bermudez, who vowed to carry on Cuba's communist revolution. Raul Castro succeeded his brother Fidel, of course, and together they ruled Cuba for more than 6 decades. And back here at home, it was a groundbreaking day in the U.S. Senate for a woman who's already a trailblazer, Senator Tammy Duckworth. The first senator to give birth while in office, she was welcomed back to the Senate floor with her newborn daughter, Miley. Children under 1 have never been allowed there before, but just this week, Duckworth's colleagues changing the rule, making it easier for her now and other senators to care for and nurse their children while at work. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Thursday. Late developments, word of the prisoner set to be set free after more than 2 decades on death row. Also, the fraternity suspended tonight at Syracuse University after this disturbing video was made public. Those frat students accused of saying, "I solemnly swear to always have hatred in my heart," and what else was captured on that video. Also, we're tracking that storm moving across the country. Treacherous driving today and the new system we're watching tonight. And then the deadly TV tower collapse.